You're watching a Newsmax special with Dick Morris about his newest bestseller, Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation.
Obamacare.
Every left-wing government has one fundamental problem. It's easy for them to get the support of the poor because they give out benefits. The problem is, how do they get the support of the working middle class? How do they get the support of people who are self-employed or employed by good employers and earning good wages and doing just fine? If you're over 21 and you're under 65 and you've got a good job, you don't need the government. So how did we make government relevant to those people in such a way that they are dependent on the Democratic Party and on big government? There's only one way to do it: take over the healthcare system.
One of the things you and I both know is that when you come to healthcare, there's no more personal and intimate decision for people. I mean, this is something that people really care about. And frankly, the devil you know is always better than the devil you don't know.
So what they did was that they took people that were currently insured, had good insurance, enjoyed the insurance, could afford it, paid it themselves, and told them, nope, your policy is inadequate. And they're saying that you have to have the soup to nuts insurance. And you say, well, wait a minute, I don't need it. He says, that doesn't matter. I can't afford it. He says, well, I'll give you a subsidy. I'll give you a tax credit, which will make it possible for you to afford it. So in one stroke, he's already taken about 5 million people away from self-supporting, self-sustaining health insurance that they can afford and forced them onto subsidies and making them dependent on the government for their health insurance. And that's going to grow to 10 million, 15 and 20 million. And you add those people to the ranks of the poor who he's already got by welfare and means-tested entitlements, and it becomes a solid, stable majority for the Democratic Party and for the left. That's why, for example, in Britain they can't get rid of socialized medicine. Everybody moans about the system, but they become so dependent on the government they can't even imagine the possibility of becoming unentangled. And Obama's goal in Obamacare is to make the middle class dependent on government largesse.
I'm one of the people who lost his health insurance. My family lost our health insurance because of Obamacare. So why?
Well, the Obama administration is doing everything it can to raise the rates on people like your son so that they are dependent on government subsidies in order to get the health insurance. I'll give you an example. It costs 1/5 as much to insure your son as it does to insure a person in their 60s. But insurers are only allowed to charge 1/3 as much. So the rates for young people are much higher than they ought to be. And that is to force them to become dependent on government subsidies so they can't possibly leave the government healthcare system.
Let me explain how this works using my own company. I used to have 250 employees. But now, because Obamacare is not given to anybody but legal U.S. citizens or legal aliens, the illegal aliens, the 5 million, or I think more like 10 million, who just got the work permits from President Obama, I can now hire them legally and rid of my U.S. citizen employees and save myself the $1 million.
In the next segment, Dick Morris explains that President Obama has a real agenda to make America a one-party state. Stay tuned. Make sure you get your copy of Dick Morris' bestseller, Power Grab, available at bookstores everywhere, or check out your free offer at newsmax.com/power.
Millions of Americans are turning to Newsmax TV on DirecTV 349, Dish 223, and Verizon Fios 115. Online at newsmaxtv.com, Roku, or Google TV with our free app from your iPhone or Android. So watch Newsmax TV now.